for taking time out of your schedule to interview with us. We welcome you.
Thank you guys so much for having me here. I miss you guys a lot.
Oh, we definitely miss you. Tell us, what is NYCUP?
Well, NYCUP in general is the New York City Urban Project, which is ran by the director, Jonathan Walton. And basically, we're in New York City for 6 weeks with other college students. There's 12 of us. We get together and we live in a community amongst each other and learn what it is, what God wants to do in New York City.
How did you get involved in this?
Willie P. interesting. We had the Human Run campaign, which is spreads awareness about human trafficking, child trafficking, sex slavery, and all these things. And one of the main speakers was Jonathan Walton to talk about how it happens throughout the world and even in here within the United States. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And he's like, you could always get involved and stand up for what you know what's right. And so there's a spring break plunge, which happens every March and during spring break, your college spring break, and you can do that. And you get to go to the city, and you get to work on different things, different activities. But there's also, he's like, if you want to get in depth and want to really help out and be an abolitionist and all these good things, he was like, there's the summer internship. And I was like, whoa, that sounds pretty cool. So I talked to him afterwards and to send him an email and stuff. And basically through that, through the Human Rights Campaign, I became interested.
That's how it all happened.
Indeed.
And how did you prepare yourself for this journey called NYCUP?
NYCUP journey. Well, so NYCUP had a cost, and it was a little high for me, being a college student and all. But I know that God really wanted me to do this, and I felt it in my heart to go and to embark on this journey. And so one of the biggest obstacles in NYCUP was to ask my mom. And so because it's a lot of money, and being that we're broke and college students and stuff, my mom would be like, you have to save money, and stuff like that. So I'm asking God to give her peace of mind so that she can let me go, because I really wanted to go. And so I asked my mom, and she said I could do it. And so I'm like, okay. And so she's like, as long as you fundraise and you make empanadas and stuff like that, it'll be good. So I'm like, okay, Mom. And so I spoke to my staff worker, Sophia, and Jonathan also sent a fundraising packet. And so I had my church family help me out, Ivy helped me out, my professors with fundraising the money. And it was awesome because I saw God's hand through everything, and He was really helping me. Even when I was halfway through and I had to come in with the money, like God kept being faithful, and people were getting money left and right, $50 and all these things. So it's really awesome. And along with that, along with fundraising and people praying, Jonathan gave us a book to read called God in the City. So overall, it helped us out. And so,
what were the key issues that were discussed at NYCUP?
Well, for the most part, whenever we talked about about a certain topic or anything, it was during Monday nights when we had speakers come in. Jonathan spoke about stewardship. We also talked about immigration. Christina Reyes came to talk to us about the school system. Of course, human trafficking and slavery. And people had questions, a lot of questions about the homeless, because of where we were living and stuff. And I loved it when they came to talk to us, because they came to speak to us but also wanted to know what we wanted to say, to hear from us. And I love the atmosphere. We set an atmosphere of where we were able to talk to each other and not feel condemned or like that we were being judged upon, but that it was okay to ask these questions. And and whenever they spoke about a topic, Jonathan was like, I don't want you to be for charter schools or for public schools, but they always brought the lesson through what the Bible has to say and what God wants us to receive. And so that's pretty awesome, because it's not like, you should be for immigration or for the immigrants to get kicked out or for them to stay. It wasn't like that. It was like more like, what does Jesus have to say? Wow. He calls us to love the alien, the widow, the oppressed. It was more like, okay, this is what Jesus wants. Definitely. So let me go upon that action. And so
that's wonderful. That's good. Now think hard about this. What was your most memorable moment at NYCUP?
Most changing, moment for me or event was Feed 500. And basically, like going out to the community and spreading God's love, and we have a brown paper bag luncheon just to, to give to the homeless. Not the homeless, but to the people who aren't as privileged as we are. And so it's at the Love Kitchen, which is in Manhattan Bible Church in Manhattan. And so we prepared lunches. They have a juice, a fruit and the sandwich. And so we would write a message to them. It could be a Bible verse. It could be a note of encouragement. So you would put it in there. You weren't just going to go out there and give people lunches like, hey, you're poor here. Wow. It was not like that. It was more like, I don't know, through Jesus' way, like his way and stuff. And so what Jonathan told us is like to go out there and to love them. Just love them, period. Not to go out there and judge them, oh, they're poor because this and that, but to truly like to humble yourself and to walk as if, you know, it was Jesus, you know, going out there to feed his people. So we would go around and I'm like, hi, my name is Francis, would you like some lunch? And some of them will resist and they're like, why are you talking to me type stuff. But then, and then some of them actually sat down and talked to us. We shared lunch with them. And some of them are actually not that they're poor, but they just can't afford housing. Like one guy is actually going to college, you know, and all these different things. And it's not, you know, it's just it was so different for me. Because it's not like you feel bad for a person, you know, on a train and you give them $1, but it was such a different experience because to that mix was Jesus, you know. And so that was pretty awesome, and it was definitely a different experience for me, and I really enjoyed it.
It sounds like you had a blast at NYCUP. I'm curious, would you return again for another season?
I return when I'm actually living out the second part of NYCUP. I think it's awesome. I think everyone should do it. It's definitely something that I've built, like my relationship with God has grown stronger, you know, because to live in a place or to experience where, you know, like in the New Testament where Jesus was among the poor, you know, the prostitutes and stuff like that, was really life-changing. And so now that I know how, like, you can know about these things, but it's like when I went to NYCUP, like to become aware how to speak about it, how to take action, like how to pray about it. So it's really awesome.
Thank you, Francis, again for taking this time out to share your story with us. Do you have any last words?
Yeah, I'd like to give them some shout-outs to Jonathan Watson, the director, to Raji, Rachel, Mike Rob, and to the girls and the guys from NYCUP. I love you guys a lot. And I still have the Silly Band, and so, Insider.
Thank you, Francis. And that's all the time that we have. Don't forget, 2011, NYCUP, next year.